Thank you for coming on today, Charlotte, and give me your time. I really thought we could have a worthwhile conversation about doTERRA, about your life since you've joined. So I just want to get straight into it. I've got a few questions that we're going to go into. And yeah, I'd really love just your complete, authentic you as you are anyway, and with these answers. And hopefully we can offer a lot of insight for people who are interested and who really want to get insights from the reality of a day in the life of and a journey of an advocate as you have lived it, because I know you've been a part of it for a long time, and so I really felt like you're the best person to have this chat with. So our first question for you is, how long have you been part of doTERRA as a wellness advocate?
Hello, thanks for having me. Yeah, I've been part of doTERRA. It's been actually it's about four years, but I would say an advocate to me is someone that is a role model for the company, someone that wants to share the message of what doTERRA is about and who believes and lives in the oily lifestyle that introduces that into their life every day and wants to share that with the world. So I've been doing that for about three years, and we're in November now. Yeah, it was 3 years ago, this anniversary. It was this time, exactly 3 years ago, that I had an experience with frankincense during a really difficult time. And I think it was that moment for me that opened me up to realizing just how powerful these particular brand of oils are, and that I wanted to explore that deeper. So yeah, that was 3 years ago.
Oh, amazing. A perfect time then, 3-year anniversary.
Yes, happy
Congrats.
birthday to me and doTERRA.
That's awesome. So obviously you've had 3 years, as you said. So how big has your team gotten over that 3 years? Where are you at now?
How big? Okay. So there's over 100 people in the team. Okay, there's some people that are maybe just got the enrollment kit and that's all they needed to do at that time. There's some people that are also like me, that are not only living the oils but sharing them. So it's difficult to say exactly in terms of numbers, because there's some people that I would call advocates like myself, and I'd say there is about 15 to 20 who are really super passionate and bringing that into their world regularly. But we have like lots of different tiers in our team and different leaders and builders stepping up. So it's growing quite fast now, which is exciting.
Sounds like it. That's quite big, up to 100. Awesome. Okay, so on real terms, like a normal question we would ask if you was an accountant or something like that. So on average, what would you say that you are earning a month through the business?
Well, I'm not really on it with the money thing because that isn't my drive or focus, but it's a good question. So I now over 200. It ranges sometimes, like in the last sort of over lockdown when people are starting to look into the health, it shot up. So over 200, and that basically pays for all of my products each month and gives me a bit of extra as well. But there will be a point where that will exponentially grow. And so I'm just still building a lot of the foundations at the moment to enable, because before that can take place, I've got a lot of work to do on the physical support for people that enroll. So I've deliberately not wanted to do more, but that's about 200 now, and then that's going to take off. I know that it's going to come soon when it's ready.
Yeah, of course, definitely. Thank you. So what would you say sort of realistically within the last 3 years to get to where you are, that would you say that you would need to do this as full time to get where you are? Like, is that what you've done?
No, I haven't fully focused on it full time ever. If I did, I would probably be further along. But then my view is everything's divine, and for me, it's about building strong foundations, strong foundations, and that for me is strong relationships first and foremost, so that that's solid, and then everything will grow from us as a community, not just one person. That's my take on it. Yeah. What was your question again?
Yeah, just asking for those, you know, who are wondering on the amount of time investment to, you know, being a part of it, say 3 years down the line where you are,
Yeah.
what that would require of them. So
Yeah,
if you're
it's
saying
really
it's going to be,
flexible, Fontana. It seriously works with you. That's
yeah.
this. I mean, some people might say different things, like you've got to put this amount of work in, and it's all about intention. You
Hmm.
can have 2 hours a week, but if it's solid focus and it's, you know yourself and you know who you want to be and what you have a strong vision, and you've got good connections, and you believe in the oils, like it will happen naturally. It's all about natural evolution for me.
Like the oils, right?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
natural evolution. Yeah, and that is from plants to actually in a bottle now, and the essence is carried into our homes in this modern day. So absolutely is achievable, and there's not one way, 2 ways, 10 ways to do this. There's not. It's all about what feels right to you and giving it attention and focus when you can, that fits in with your life. There are a lot of people that have fears around it because it's not something that you get a quick fix financially from. I say to my team, it's a long-term vision and a journey, self-development journey. You journey with the tribe, you journey with the oils as your tribe too, in their essence. And yeah, obviously the more you focus on it, say you didn't have other focuses, then, and you weren't split, you're going to have more success because you're going to be able to invest more time and energy into learning about the oils, which is one of the most important things when you start. It's not about the business straight away, it's about embodying the wisdom of the oils and learning how they can help you, support you and your growth, and then your families and friends and your communities. And it will naturally, as you start to really embody how they can help you, it should happen naturally. Oh, you smell lovely, or there's a glow around you, or you just suggest something. This has helped me, and that's what worked for me. It was just living the oils. And when I had loads of stuff going on, it was more difficult to live that lifestyle. So my business didn't grow as it is this year. It's starting to really grow because I've let go of things in my life which came to a natural cycle, and like work, businesses that come to an end. And I love the team. I love the tribe that we've created. So that's my why, having these connections, and the oils are a massive part of that. And so that the abundance flows back in time. It is starting to come. It's starting to come. So yeah.
Thank you. So in terms of somebody who's really just like tried the oils and they're really thinking of taking that leap, from what you're saying, would you not advise them then to completely just focus on that and give up, say if they had another job or part-time work, to not do that, to have it on the side and build the foundations, as you said, of relationships and working on that side of things, rather than just abandoning what they're doing to try and make money?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't suggest I ever advise giving something up for money. Like, if your heart's calling you to do that, I can't tell someone what to do in terms of big decisions like that anyway. And everyone's different, right? But it's something that can be added to your life really beautifully, and complement any industry you're in or career path you're in. Maybe you're a new mum, or maybe you're a housewife, maybe you've had health issues. Bring it into your world, and start to access all the different types of support around doTERRA can offer and what our tribe, High Vibe Body Tribe, can offer, and then it will happen organically, definitely. I mean, I quite like for me personally, I like finishing one thing, because I know that when I say to the universe, I'm not happy with this. So I had a dance school for 15 years and I felt it coming to a natural end over the last few years, but kept on in fear of, I didn't want to let those people down, the children down. So then lockdown happened and it kind of forced an ending, right? Which it was perfect in a way, but it left me, financially, but it was sort of my motivation to really focus on doTERRA, and I love that. I welcome and grateful for that. So, it's all about doing what's right in here for the individual, and actually reaching out to your upline, the person that's introduced doTERRA, ask them for support. But it's not, if you're looking for doTERRA to be a quick fix for money, and you're coming from a place of fear, and that you need that to make this, I think you're going to get whipped in the bum. I don't think you're going to get, if you're coming from that place, it's not what it's about.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is, what's been like the biggest obstacle for you, be it personally or business wise, since you've been on your journey with doTERRA?
That's a toughie. Got a couple of things that spring to mind. On one hand, it's the psychosis I had. That was a personal, massive challenge that affected everything in my life. But do you know what was great about that in terms of doTERRA? Like, doTERRA supported me through it. Like, the first time I didn't need as much medication because I was using essential oils. The second time I didn't need any medication because I was 2 years into using them. And it really helped to release what I need to release and journey through that spiritual crisis. It also gave me a bit of income when I couldn't work. And I couldn't get any benefits. I didn't get any support. But doTERRA, and I wasn't even working, and I couldn't work. And so what doTERRA's given me is that stability each month, because of the work I've put in prior to that time, last November was my last episode. It's given me that security each month where I couldn't work. And that's one thing we must talk about at some point in this interview, like the way, the business model and how it differs from other types of earning income. But in terms of challenges within maybe doTERRA, and personally as well, mixes the two, is what came to mind was, I am used to running a dance school where I was the boss, right? The person that created it and ran the dance school. And when I had personal issues in my world, I had a lot of like personal issues with became a single mum really quickly. I had a breakdown in relationships. And to be honest with you, I couldn't really cope with the amount of stress and overwhelm that dance school and party company for kids created in my world internally. Because it was too big, it was too much, and it was too much responsibility. And what I've had to overcome is not bringing that energy into this business. That I'm not responsible for my team. I am and I'm not. It's been a journey this year, definitely, because there was moments where I feel myself start to be sort of controlling almost. And I didn't realise until I checked in and thought, I don't feel very good, don't feel very comfortable. And I still have to catch myself with that I feel like I need to do more for them all the time. So that's been a challenge to overcome. And now I've learned that if I just get close to who I am and express myself, I am that leader of true authenticity, which inspires my team to be themselves like that. Themselves, authentic expression, feminine, and do business in a feminine way rather than a masculine way. So they're my two. That's what came to mind when you asked that.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. So what would be like your standout pleasure in terms of being an advocate, running your own business? Like, is there some like standout pleasure like overall, or is there one significant moment that just like where you was like, this is why I do this? Like, I'm sure there has been many, but if you can think of like the most outstanding, that would be amazing to hear.
Montana, every day is a pleasure. Honestly, that's really cheesy, but I love my life. When I look back to how trapped I felt in my own business, and now I do this and I'm free, it's just pleasurable to be me. Oh, there's so many, but I'll go to May and June. I think it was getting all you guys on a call, and each week we'd meet up, and it was just really emotional because I could envisage the future. I can visualize what that looks like, and we are working together, and it's going to build, and we're going to attract more and more like-minded, wise women. Maybe there'll be men in the future, hopefully.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, so balance it out a bit, but yeah, it's a powerhouse really. And it was just I just remember being on this call with you guys, and I think we'd gone through, it was a Tuesday night, I think, when we'd gone through tuning into our body, what oil we needed, and trusting the intuition and the messages of that wisdom of the oil.
Yeah.
And or was it a Wednesday? I can't remember. It happened twice a week at least, and it was just filling me up with almost whoa, I can't believe this is actually happening, because I saw this last year and now it's real, it's here, it's happening. And it was just the enormity, the expansiveness of the foundations we're creating now and what's going to happen in the future as people wake up to themselves and natural solutions to heal. We've got it all here to offer people. And it was just, people were like, just the love in the group and the wisdom, the shared love, the shared wisdom, the community. We've got each other for support, and it's amazing support. So I think it was that moment that it wasn't just about me and my business, and it's about a shared vision.
Nice.
Something big that happened within me at that point. And I just knew every day I show up now in my own way that's authentic, because it's going to happen, and it is happening. That makes sense.
Thank you for being so honest. I can really see how that could be one of the most outstanding. Seeing as I was a part of it, it was definitely something that brought me pleasure. So from you, where you're at, obviously further down the line in terms of how long you've been, and then to have created that for us, really, is what you did, and you then to be able to receive that pleasure back. It's really beautiful.
I think it was confirmation that I wasn't just in dreamland, because it embodied within other people. So for me, it was really reassuring that I am on the right path. Wow.
Lovely.
Yeah, it strengthens my sense of connection to myself, you know what I mean? Which is what I want for other people.
Okay, so we've got to balance it out, obviously. So on the other side, so what would you say is like a frustration that you have experienced?
I think, yes, I'll be honest, it's in me, frustration in me, not being able to be good at certain things. So I have the visions, I have the ideas, the intuition, I'm good with people and relationships, but what I'm not very good with is seeing something out and physically creating the ideas. However, learning about like human design, me being a manifester, they're not supposed to. And that's why it's not natural for me to do that. And that's why naturally I'm not doing that. I'm doing the ideas stuff. I'm supposed to be and then the generators build and create and see things out. And you're really into that. So you've inspired me a lot with astrology. And so whatever challenge there is, I think I've always been very open to a solution and finding that myself in my own time. So I don't have this defeatist energy inside, victim. I'm just like, right, this isn't what annoys me about myself, but there must be a reason. I find the reason, it makes sense, it reassures me, gives me confidence, makes me go, and then I up level. I suppose a leader does, doesn't it? Like a leader just continues to grow. And so
I love that.
Yeah. But
I love that you use like your intuition that you often, I know, share with others, but using it as well to help yourself. Like that's really beautiful as well.
Yeah. And you know, that I do want to stress that all sounds really lovely what I just said, yeah, but the feelings of not being good enough because I can't finish things have been with me my whole life, and to be honest, it has been really difficult, has been very challenging. So I don't want to take away from that being a real thing, but this is what I want to share, that if you just go into human design, go into your astrological birth chart, what else is there, numerology, and something else, I think the strengths finder we use in doTERRA in our team to look at, well, what are our strengths, and therefore how will we run a business. None of us are the same. We mustn't be telling ourselves to do things like that person or comparing, because that's what we'll try and do. The ego is really tricky like that. Trickster.
I believe that is one of our biggest errors that we make, that we learn hard way because of all of the frustration and suffering it's showing us. Stop doing that. It's not necessary. I love that. I love what you've just shared with those tools, because they're really the powerful ones, aren't they, in terms of giving us a deeper insight into our blueprint, our nature.
Yeah.
And then I think with that, what it does, it kind of helps us then let go of all of those old programs slowly that we had, those tendencies to compare and to judge and to resist what is our nature. You know, it's like, it sounds like an invitation for acceptance with what you're saying. I'm sure a lot of people can really relate to that not good enough.
Oh yeah, they're not good enough. I've been using a blend of oils for that at the moment to get into some queen energy. But there was something just came through then as you were talking. I wanted to share that back in March, because I'm really passionate about mental health, obviously with my businesses, and spiritual health. I wanted to go into a mental hospital, and I did get a job in there, but then COVID happened, and there was childcare. End of this, like, short story, I couldn't work there. And then that's where you guys sort of started to have so much interest in doTERRA, and you loved the oils, and you wanted to, we formed this group that met up weekly, and we shared and inspired and grew. And it was big. It was like, boom, back in May. And it was around the time of the doTERRA yearly convention, which was online this year, supposed to be in Italy. So that was great in a way, because more people could come along because it was online. So I took that as a sign that was obviously not my path. And if I look back to it, it's just popped into my mind. So I think if now that I understand who I am through those means, human design, strengths finder, astrology particularly, because it talks to the creative part of me, I don't think I would have lasted long there. First of all, I've got quite a big mouth, so if I've got strong feelings, and I call out BS as well. So and I remember being in a hospital where mental hospital, where I experienced this firsthand. So level of, I don't know what the word is that I want to say, just like maybe not support that's going to be really supportive, basically. And so I don't think I would have fitted in there. And I also think I'm too much of a creative, and I would have been suppressed there as well. I'm here to create things that are new most days. So I've got to work with that energy. If I don't, it gets suppressed within me, and I feel quite into a depressive state.
Right.
And I feel it in my body, like physical pain in my body, if I'm not being expressive, for example, and then sharing that, you know. So I feel very good because I've been doing this every day, you know, honouring who I am. So so that's helped me. That's been a challenge. But so the challenge sometimes comes with the ego mind that goes, but you need money, and you need to be, and you should be doing this because you love mental health and you can help people. And then this soul is just like, go with the flow, let's see what happens, and has a higher wisdom. Actually, you know, this is the path to take, and this is who you are. Oh, so I look back at that time back in April, May, and I see why that had to happen. And the wisdom I've got now is that I will help people with mental health, but just not in that way that I thought. Probably that is a high vibration, I think.
Right.
Like just will attract some people that work in mental health already.
Yeah.
We're going to learn about the oils, and that can then I can work with them with my ideas that come through about how we can help the patients, but they're going to oversee that, and I just support them with the ideas and my background and experience and the knowledge of the oils. Perhaps that feels lighter to me, and it feels less restrictive, and it feels right for who I am. So just an example of, once you really get to know yourself, you know where to place your energy.
Thank you for sharing that story. I think, again, a lot of people can relate, where they've got like a crossroads, or maybe right now they've just been let go of from work, and maybe they've got, as I say, like two different choices, or a number of choices, and they're not sure what it is for them right now. And there's a lot of this uncertainty. So many ways, isn't there? And I think, that's inspirational what you just shared, because we're inviting people to look at the tools that are available for them to get more insights into the way they were made and the way their soul wanted to express themselves. And so that can really support them with this decision making that they're being invited to proceed with right now. So with that in mind, it brings me to my next question. So in terms of decisions, like, how do you make decisions within the business?
Yes. Sometimes I just go with the vision and the feeling and trust it, knowing that it's not the end, that it's part of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's always evolving for me. The ideas come through, and it gives me, and I have to, and I just trust that I need to go forwards with that. And then once you do that, you'll see the next part of the journey, and it's usually not just about the journey and evolution of the business, but about yourself. Because this is what this is about, evolving and healing ourselves as we go. But one other thing that I do know of to do, and it's sometimes I forget, but most of the time I'm on it, is if you haven't got if you're not sure, wait until you have more information. It's like what you said about the crossroads. If you've got a decision, then it's not and then you're not sure which one to take, it's because it's not the right time, and you haven't got all the information yet to make that decision. So hold off, which is what I did with the mental health job. If I'd have taken it, I still would be here where I am now, probably, but I probably would have suffered a bit and then gone through the aggro of leaving the job or having a bit of altercation. So we're just waiting and allowing it to be there, and it never showed itself as important for me to go towards. So I knew that I was on the right path, and I trusted that. So sometimes we can need to do things now, especially with my fiery North Node, just like impatient. So I definitely have to be aware of that. But I do go with my feelings, and I've really got to do this, and the evidence is there, so let's go. But I less hard on myself, and that evolves into something else. And I say evolves rather than changes, because I used to be hard on myself, and I changed my mind all the time. But usually it's about getting a bit of information there, and then having an overall picture, vision, that all comes together in the end. It's just the way you do it. You dance, I dance through different parts, and then I get there in the end, and it's quite fun that way.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it did, absolutely. I'm just going to summarise. So from what I heard you say, you're recommending that sort of connecting to your own personal vision within you is a wise first step, because then any decisions that you're going to make is going to be hopefully aligned with that vision.
Yes, it's so easy to go into someone else's vision and someone else's advice, especially if you're new to something.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're going to love, bring it all back to you. S Club, I had to do that, because it's true. Bring it all back to you anyway in that moment, and listen to people, but don't get pulled away from your center and your vision. And if you struggle with creating that vision, there's many things you can do to get clarity on that. There's many amazing people in this group who can support with that. And if anyone wants it, for doTERRA specifically, I did a manifestation meditation where you visualize your future and whatever goal you feel you want, and you go into that state of meditation to really
Yeah, done it. It was powerful.
see it and feel it and embody it in that right now. And I've done it too, and it works. So you find your own way of getting clarity on the vision. The vision is really important. Some people use vision boards. Some people like to see it every day, and some people don't need that. They just they meditate, or they just have this knowing. So get clear on the vision, and then enjoy the freaking ride to get there. Enjoy it every moment, every day. Building connection.
But don't rush ahead. So the other thing I heard you say in terms of like the astrology, if people are going to go and look into their chart, to check where their fire is in case they're like a sun or moon Aries or North Node, so they don't impulsively rush ahead before they've connected with that vision. Because then, like you said, in terms of in hindsight, you could see that if you'd went down the mental health hospital route, that you would have probably, had those moments of like, frustrations, more regret, more suffering that you've co-created because you wasn't fully tapped into yourself. And I know personally from experience, I've definitely done that untold times. And so I know a lot of people, maybe still have that pattern. And I think that was a really important point to bring up, that we really just connect with our vision before we move forward. So thank you.
And sometimes to be mindful that we can be drawn to things from a wound, from a scar, because there's a lesson there. And this might be part of the doTERRA journey. It was for me. It has been for me the first couple of years, definitely. Because I was only new on my deep healing journey. I was only fairly new, really.
This could lead on very well to the next question.
Great.
So we're going in a bit now. So what mistakes do you think that you have made, whether they've come from your wound or, whatever it may be for you? What mistakes do you think you've made on the way of your journey of the last 3 years?
That's an amazing question. I can't wait to answer it. So I'm seeing me start out. I've got the business builder kit. I invested a lot of money, which I don't regret. I think it was the best thing for me. And I was just so fired up. But I look back and I think, she was just like starting out. She was just so eager. I don't regret anything, so I wouldn't really call them mistakes. But I think what I've learned from those times are, I just didn't have the wisdom back then like I do now, which is the trust. I didn't have the trust that I did and I didn't. I did. And I knew that this would be big. I got the builder's kit. I knew that I was going to share this far and wide, and I just knew that. But I held hands too much. That's what I held people, and I think I wanted it more than they did, because I could see the potential and I could see the links, which is one of the things I can do. I can see where people link to people and people link to I can see the threads almost of connection and connection to their own divinity, their own power. The problem is, it doesn't matter how much you can see that, if they can't see that, you're just going to be exhausted with holding them. And I don't think that's truly serving people. It's not. No. So I've learned to relax a bit, which sounds a bit counterintuitive, but it's not. It's truly wise to relax, to trust that inner work, as you said. Let's talk about inner work. To have a practice, and I don't do it every day, but I'm always aware, like as much as I can be. I'm aware of how I come across, my behaviour, what I'm feeling, moment to moment, in other people's presence as well as on my own, and what people's energy makes me feel like, and if I want to converse with that or not now. Whereas before I was just, that was it. I wanted anyone and everyone to know about doTERRA and everyone and everyone to be part of my team. But now I'm very, very choosy, selective with who's in, and it's not saying that not everyone can benefit doTERRA, but just in terms of what I'm trying to create here with the tribe, it's got to be people that are willing to grow themselves. Number one, are you willing to do the work like I am? if not, I just don't think it's going to be enjoyable for either of us, because we've got different intentions. It's like relationships. When I've had a lot of growth in relationships, a lot of struggle I'm talking about romantic partners, and I've always sort of grown out of that relationship and moved forward fast, you know, and gained pain and lessons. But now I'm clear. I only want to be with a man who will grow with me at the speed, because that's fun. That's fun for me. We heal ourselves together, or not necessarily. We can do it separately, but that we all grow, we rise together. That's what Vicky says. We rise together. Right. That's true for who's in there so far, and for future members of our group. Like, so I've learnt that now, but I'm really grateful for going through the opposite feeling. I'm grateful for that. You realise what I do want now in relationships, and therefore in High Vibe Really Tribe.
Oh, I'm grateful for it, because now you're sharing it with everyone else. So if you hadn't learned that, then you wouldn't be able to share it. So thank you.
Oh, that's
so. Yeah. So maybe something that you haven't mentioned already, like, what do you wish that you knew before you joined, before you really started out?
I like to be surprised, Fontana, if I'm honest.
Do you?
I can't think of anything. It's just, I can't believe this. I get loads out of learning and growing through all of it. So nothing's coming through. No.
That's fine.
I love it. I think there's so much more to come. So much more.
Okay. So in terms of like skills wise, so like what skills do you think that you've developed since you've been a part of the business?
Oh, definitely more confident in teaching and leading and videos. I've done lots of videos, lives, teaching classes in person. So it's been really good for my communication skills. I know it's one of my wounds is in Chiron in Gemini. So that's been there's going to be times when that has been will be challenging for me. So it's good to work on that, right? Is that right? Chiron in Gemini, yeah, it's right for communication.
Same placement.
Yeah, so it pushes me. This has pushed me, and it's not to say that I have to do videos, because not everyone has to, but there is obviously a draw there to heal something there. So I've got more skills in being a leader as well, and inspiring others, which I enjoy doing that. I enjoy being someone that I can support other people. Obviously, I've learned so much about the oils and the wisdom there, and it's just ongoing. I'm still learning all the time, and I go dip into it deeper sometimes, and come up to the shallow surface and go deep into the wisdom, and it's like a journey.
Wow.
Skills.
So if there was one, like, what would you say is sort of the greatest strength that is needed by somebody who is going to do this seriously, like as a successful builder?
I wouldn't use the word strength. What strength do people need? Because whatever your strengths are, you can create a business with doTERRA, and that's been proved with the Strength Finder. And they've got books as well sharing about that. I would say though that what you do need is to be committed to your own growth, and as a leader anyway, being capable and committed. So committed to your own growth, and committed to exploring the oils deeper and deeper, and to bring them into your day. That's required, I think, whether you're a customer and you're just going to use them for healing and developing yourself, or if you're going to be taking it a bit more seriously and interested in sharing this with the people and potentially building a business where you can bring income into your life as a result of doing just that. So being capable and committed to using them daily for your growth, for your healing, is how I'd answer that question.
Okay, that's the essential element for being part of it successfully. Okay, thank you. So just one last one, and then we can talk about what you were sharing earlier, the money side of it in terms of what makes doTERRA different to others. But so in terms of like education and experience that you've had throughout the last 3 years, what would you say has been like the most valuable? Have they both been? What sort of aspects have been really valuable to you personally, like the most?
There are loads of people out there sharing wisdom and education about the oils, loads.
Yeah.
And we are lucky to have some amazing doTERRA leaders in our upline team. Carolyn Kane being one of those people who consistently shares, educates, very knowledgeable. She loves learning and passing forwards. So she's been a big part of my journey and inspiration to me. But the main answer to your question, I would say, is convention. Not just because of the education, but it's a powerhouse event that's just tapped straight into my heart. I'm always born in it, like the whole way through. Convention happens like in May every year. It's the European convention I'm talking about. They do have a global convention because it's based in the US. So this is the European convention, and I've been to the London one and Germany, and it's supposed to be Italy in 2020, which hopefully may happen next May in real life, so we can have a girly trip there.
Nice.
So I would say the powerhouse of that event captures my heart, and just because it aligns with my vision. I can see myself up there playing guitar, singing and dancing and sharing my. Oh my God, that would be a dream, wouldn't it? Combining all the things I love into one place. But it's just the energy of all those people in that room, like thousands of wellness advocates and 5,001 advocates around the world come together, all with this shared love of these oils and this company. And then you're hearing these stories from how co-impact sourcing, how farmers have like been given a lifeline because of doTERRA. They were literally on their knees, and what horrendous things they were going through, and then doTERRA come along and then pretty much, I hate to say that term, but save them. They do, that's literally what they do. And to know that every time you invest, spend money, use oils, share the oils, you're helping be a part of that. So it's the energy, it's the love, it's the connection, and it's a big blast in my heart that it gives me this energy that it's like on you go, onto my path with doTERRA and what I'm creating with my vision. It's just this big motivation energy, and that's what I love probably the most, because it's not about needing someone else to give you that. It's like a catalyst that ignites a flame within myself to move me forward in that direction, and to do it with your friends, like when there's a load of us that go together to these events. It's really
the power of a collective,
really
right?
It's such a special experience. And then having like the gala where you dress up in a little ball gown and you like dance and live music, it's just a beautiful experience that I really highly recommend people go to. Even if they're just can go.
Even if they what?
Even if they're just a customer, and they're not to build a business, they can still go, because there's a lot of education. There's doctors, scientists, wellness advocates. It's very inspirational. It's very positive and uplifting. Yeah, I love it. Fontana, you need to come to the next one.
It sounds super high vibe. So yeah, I think the way, you've just sold it.
There you go.
Yeah, did you want to mention then, before we close, about the difference in the way that doTERRA works with the money side of it?
Yeah, that's a good idea, because it's something that I never get a chance to share really, because it's always about the oils and the community. But
Yeah,
you know, we live in a world where we do need money right now to survive,
yeah,
and it's something that we shouldn't be taboo. We should be grateful and not ashamed to want to earn well. Okay, I've always wanted to be successful and do well. And if you look at, like, if I just share my backstory briefly about how I've earned income. At 16, I got a job in New Look, so I was employed. That was my first
oh,
job.
yeah.
17, I qualified as a dance teacher, and a few months after turning 17, I got offered a job as a dance teacher in a dance school, which I took. That was like £5 an hour, and then it was £10 an hour. So this was like, how old am I now? 33. It was about, yeah, 16 years ago. Oh my God, when I share this story,
No, don't say it, don't say it.
it's going up, but longer years ago. Anyway, so that was 17 years old. I was working for a dance school, independent dance school, and I was self-employed.
Right.
I went from employed to self-employed, and then I got fed up with that because I wanted to share. I just thought one day, this is not creativity. Teaching outside
Yeah,
the book, and all the children having to look the same, when dance should be
yeah.
individual and creative and expression, or about expression. So I set up my dance school called Astara when I was about 18, I think I was, just in the holidays, because I was training at this point to be a professional dance and singer. So
Did you make up that name? Did it just come to you like every bloody thing else?
it came to me from the angel, and it is
I thought it did.
Astara is an angel, Fontana. I was at my friend's house. She was giving me a treatment. Back in the day, I used to like be really good at self-care. Before you have trauma, like that's sort of like much easier, isn't it? She did an angel. I said, I really need a name for this business. I know what it's going to look like and feel like. It's a dance school for kids, creativity, fun, freedom, and we did and one fell out, and it was Astara. Reach for the stars for your dreams and desires, and don't compromise. And she was
Yeah.
green, and she like, look, you know, I've got quite a pointy chin and nose. Like, don't say like a witch,
I
but
didn't notice, no.
it's quite pointy. Quite
Until you just said it.
like, look at my chin.
Okay.
The biggest chin you've ever seen.
It's a week of it right now. It's a week of it. Body image. You see it this week. Yes, I go.
This chin on this angel looking up to the stars was the same as mine. I couldn't believe it. If you know the pack, it's Doreen Virtue, Messages from Your Angels, I think it's called. I've got it in there somewhere.
I've seen the card. I think I've pulled it online before, so I have been familiar with it, but yeah, I didn't know where you got it from or what the story was behind it. Okay.
I'm getting the signs about green and purple, so I love those colours. I had a green car at the time, I was all wearing green, and I was like, oh my God, I got body tingles. I even got the website astara.co.uk, which was in use for 12 years. It just came available in that month. You can't write this stuff. So that's when my faith in the angels and the universe really like strengthened. Yeah. And it was a beautiful time, and I had like a great time. It felt really big, and then I really wanted to get into TV presenting because I trained as a presenter. I wanted to be a children's TV presenter, but there was something stopping me. It wasn't obviously my path, but I did all the training, and then I got a job as a presenter on QVC. So I'd get £200 an hour for 8 minutes. I was on a lot of money, and I also had my dance school, which then I had to bring in other people because I was getting a lot of work with TV. And then, so I was doing well, but I needed to expand it because I kept getting these opportunities, and I kept getting teachers want to work with Astara, and they loved what it was all about, after school clubs, as well as a Saturday musical theatre school. And we did shows all the time, and it went from obviously when I set up Astara, it needed to be I was a sole trader trading as Astara. I think that's right, Charlotte's.
Yeah.
And then over time, I started doing children's parties. So I did that for about 10 years, and that then took off. And then I had like 12 staff, about 56 classes a week at one point. And it was 2 limited companies and it just got ridiculously big, and it was a bit much for me. because I wasn't great at managing. I've learned this now, where my strengths are, that I'm here to just have the ideas, not to run things or not to tell people what to do. And that's where I found it really challenging. But anyway, going back to the money and the way I earn money, I've had experience in all of that, as you can hear: employment, self-employed, sole trader, limited company, a creative director of 2 companies, limited company. So I know what that's like.
Yeah.
And for me, the business model of doTERRA, which is a network marketing company, is just ticks all my boxes for what I want. And I'll tell you why. It gives me the chance to be free. It gives me the chance to be creative. It gives me the chance to be my own person and support other people and work in a team as much as I want, or as little as I want. It gives me flexibility. And for me, it's something that will grow and potentially be huge in terms of the return in the future. And I can make that jump up now if I wanted to, or I can let things go with the flow, which is what I'm choosing to do. Because what's important to me is my mental health and being grounded. And it's not all about money. And it never has been about money. So I see this model as a long-term vision, and this is what I try to share with people in my team, that don't expect that you're going to sell a product and get the money, and that's going to work long-term for you, because it's so much more than that. And that is, if that's what you're looking for, then this isn't the right thing for you. It's something that can give you a huge investment, but it requires from you investment in yourself, in your self-development, and also it's not going to work if you don't love the oils. To have that oily experience, learn all about them and see for yourself. And if you're having those oily experiences and you love them, then just know that you can easily share them with people around you, with the knowledge you've got, with the embodiment that you've had to experience, and you'll reap rewards from sharing. But it's not about selling. I have sold on QVC and successfully done that. That isn't what I class this to be at all. And do you know what? The reason why I handed in my notice with the company I was working for on QVC, because I loved sharing, because it was like having a cup of tea and a chat, but with millions of people watching. I think it was like 8 million sometimes, which was a bit daunting, but it was so high stress. 8 minutes, you got to get all these things in. No, thank you. I've done that and I don't want to do that again. I'm the ruler of my life. I'm in control, and I choose to architect it like however I want to do that, build it however I want. But you've got so much love and support along the way. There's just so many people you can tap into for help, and so many resources as well. And so I just know, like with my dance school, like when you're working for yourself, you have to show up in order to get the payment back. And sometimes people might cancel on you. Like if you're self-employed, it's great because you're free to do what you want to do when you want to do it. But still, it requires the other person in that hour to get that payment for the hour, for example. And even if you're like a leader of groups, right? But how this works is, I was ill in November and I didn't work and I still got paid. When would you ever get that in an employed situation? Well, maybe for a few weeks, but certainly not a few months. It'd stop at some point. You like, this is your deadline, you've got to be better by then, or you've got to push through it. And that's not what we want to be promoting in this group or this business model at all. It works around you and what's going. So if you have a crisis and you need time off, do you know what? Not only are you going to potentially be paid whilst you have a break, you've got these beautiful oils to assist you with the crisis. Not only that, you've got a team of people around you, because you've made those connections, that are going to be there for you as well. So this November, I haven't gone into psychosis. Woohoo! It's the 4th year and I haven't this time. And I put that down to the foundation I've built around me, knowing that I'm safe and protected. Each day, and I've got the oils, I've got my friends, I've got you guys. And that's stability. That's true stability. People can take away your job like that. You can lose businesses. You know, with the lockdown, people who are self-employed are really struggling because their job's been taken from them. This works through all the challenges beautifully, effortlessly, and abundantly. So that's what I wanted to say about it, that you might not get that. Well, you do if you share the oils and then someone buys a kit, you get 20% straight away. So you do get instant money, but there's many different commission strategies and like,
Yeah,
that
people can find out about that if they go on to doTERRA website, even on, if you can direct them to
yeah. So
the,
you can just even go on YouTube and type in doTERRA compensation plan, and there should be a 6-7 minute video that introduces you to that, and also one about LRP because you can get points from LRP and it opens you up to getting paid. So those two things, LRP and the commissions plan, gives you an insight as to, you know, how it works. And then you would just talk to the person that introduced you to the oils to guide you through all of that at your own pace.
yeah,
doTERRA,
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I feel like you've offered so much insights, inspiration and value for people who are interested, and I feel like, I just can't wait for people to receive something that they probably may not be able to access as easily as, you know, some of the other materials. So thank you for all your time.
Thanks, Montana. Great questions. I love it when I can't answer them or I need to think about it. It gets me, you know, really having to think about things and feel into them. So that was awesome. Thank you for your time. It helps people, inspires them.
Definitely, that is my intention. So we'll leave it here. And if anyone else has any more questions for you, then obviously we're going to post it out so they can contact yourself, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, they can find me. Facebook, YouTube channel is called Essential Expressions at the moment, but you know me, that might evolve. But there's lots of cool things on there, from classes about oils to chats about self-development and other things. So thank you for watching.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.